Hi students, it's Ms.Boley here. This week we're going to be continuing on with symbols, and we're going to be creating a personal symbol that represents who we are or our personal identity. These symbols are going to be added to the drum that you made in your music lesson last week. So you can add this symbol that you create and the symbol that you created last week onto your drums. Let's keep watching so that we can learn exactly what personal identity means and some tips for how to create your personal symbols and how to complete this assignment. Personal identity just means who are you as a person? So this can include things like your interests, your likes and dislikes, your culture and background based on maybe where you or your family are from in the world, or your personality, how you act and behave in certain situations. So step one for this project is to build your idea or to generate your idea. Before you start creating any ideas for what symbols you might be drawing, you might just want to get some ideas listed on paper. So you may want to create a mind map or a list with the question, who am I, at the top. And from there you can list different things about your interests, your likes and dislikes, your culture and your background, your personality, and more. Just like last week, we are thinking symbolically. So we want to use simple images to communicate an idea about yourself. Remember, about who you are as a human. So here are some examples. So I might want to represent my interest of visual art. So I might draw a paintbrush. And then I might go further and draw a pencil. And I might arrange them in a way that they're crossing each other. So I'm dividing up the space by doing that. And then in order to frame my symbol with some sort of shape, I can do like a rainbow, a circle that's a rainbow around these two objects. And my plan is that I would have the rainbow coming out of the paintbrush. So I could come up with an idea like that, where I am building my symbol by choosing different objects to place together. Another idea could possibly be something like this. So let's say I want to represent my culture and background. So I'm going to use the maple leaf. And then I want to represent that I love reading. And so I'm going to draw a book and I'm going to have it behind the maple leaf. I could take that idea even further. Could have those two elements. Maybe I want to frame them somehow, maybe with a triangle. And then I want to represent nature, different elements of nature. So I've got a squiggly line here to represent water. I've got trees, a silhouette of a tree line to represent a forest, and then mountains on the left side there. So that's a really elaborate symbol, but it communicates a lot. It could be something as simple as an interest that you have. So let's say soccer, and a personality trait. So let's say I've used a lion in this case to represent my fierce personality, maybe specifically when I'm on the soccer field. Or I could use a dragon, maybe to represent my cultural background, and a music staff with notes to represent my love for music. So you're going to want to choose 2 to 3 symbolic elements to combine, and then decide how you will arrange them on the picture space. So a lot of the times I like to do something that's called thumbnail sketching. Thumbnail sketching is when you use a pencil and paper to sketch out little mini versions of your ideas so that you don't need to waste time sketching out the full-sized idea. So for example, here I'm sketching out an idea where I have a circular symbol and I've split it up into 4, and then in each section I'm indicating what I'm going to be drawing in there, and I'm using arrows and just little simple pictures to show what I would be adding into those areas. So a thumbnail sketch allows me to quickly plan out a whole bunch of different ideas so that I can then choose my favorite idea. Step 2 is to sketch out what you're planning. If I was going to use that paintbrush example, so I've got my paintbrush, my pencil, and my rainbow circle. Take down my pencil into a rectangle and a triangle. I'm going to use an oval for the paintbrush handle. I feel like this little bristle part of the paintbrush is good to represent using a triangle, and then obviously circle. Alright, so I'm using a roll of tape to trace for a circular shape. And as I've shown in the slideshow earlier, I'm going to block in the pencil using a rectangle and a triangle. And then I'll do the paintbrush over here as well. My oval and my triangle. So very, very simple. Now that I have that blocked in, I'm just going to go over my contour lines and draw everything in using a little bit darker of pencil marks. So I'm putting a bit more pressure on my pencil. Alright, so now I'm going to try to make it look like the rainbow is coming out of the paintbrush. And I'm trying to make the circle a little bit more wavy, not as perfectly circular, so it doesn't look like I just traced something circular. Here we go. Okay, so step 3, you're going to add detail and color. So just like last week, we're just using markers, pencil crayons, really anything that we have at home and to add color. And so I'm starting out with markers. I'm kind of layering pencil crayons and markers together. Now I'm doing an outline in some parts of my symbol using a Sharpie marker. This can be really tricky, especially if your hand isn't really steady, so just do your best. If you make a mistake, you can always make the line thicker or make it a double line, anything you like. And here's the final product. All right, what if I'm trying to draw an animal? What should I do? Many of you may want to use animals to stand in for specific ideas, which is a great idea. Drawing animals is challenging, but you definitely can use the same method of breaking down the thing that you want to draw into more simple shapes. So in this example here with the fox, I have used a circle for the fox's head, and then for the snout I'm using a triangle and a circle in the end. And the triangle will allow me to have a guide for where I'm going to place the eyes, and obviously triangles for the ears. And the same thing for if I'm looking at a full body of a fox. So I can break down the full body into simple shapes, and then I can look at my contour outlines and block those in. And I would really strongly recommend for whatever you're going to draw, whether it's an animal or an object or a person, that you find a picture to look at while you're drawing. It's going to really help. Let's have a look at our checklist for this assignment. All right, so first of all, we have done the idea building step. So we've actually thought about how these symbols can represent who we are. We've used 2 to 3 things within our symbol. So in my example with the paintbrush and the pencil and the rainbow, I have a paintbrush, that's 1, a pencil, that's 2, and the rainbow, that's 3 things. So I have used the method of drawing where I use shapes to block in forms, and I've also looked at a reference image when drawing. And then finally, I've added some color and detail to my symbol.